Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. I hate starting my videos out like that, by the way. I think one part of that rebrand I was talking about is definitely going to be coming up with the new channel intro because it's just so like corny, it's so overdone. Anyway, let's actually get into the topic of this video, and that is a speed build in Bloxburg. If you know me, you know I love building games. I love to build, whether that is in Bloxburg, on Roblox, Animal Crossing, or The Sims. I just love building games. And yeah, this time I'm building a mill in an autumn forest, and it's very autumn and cozy. It's a place I just want to walk through. I wanted to make some, seasonal videos for October. I said I would make some like scary Halloween videos. I kind of ran out of time, but I do plan on making a Splatterween video on Splatoon when that comes out this weekend, so I hope to make a video on that. This is kind of in the mood of autumn. That's seasonal, right? I think that counts. I just don't want to overdo it with how much I'm putting myself through, with how much content to make. I only have just got back into this, haven't I? So I don't need to overdo it. This video, wow, this took a long time to make. Let's get into some numbers and facts. And I also should probably have warned you like immediately at the start. There's like a lot of fast movement in this and a flash warning. I had to speed the video up just to make it not an insane length time, so I had to speed this up about 1,000 times, probably over that. The video took 13 hours to record. That is approximate because I accidentally deleted the raw footage file for the final clip, so I just guessed it was about 50 minutes and it added up to 13 hours. So this is sped up over 1,000 times, so the video is about 20 minutes or so, because you're not going to sit down for 13 hours and watch me slowly build this autumn forest with a beautiful mill and a bakery. It does have a bakery as well, so I'm going to get into the lore later on. Let's not start getting on tangents this soon into the video. So yes, the build time was 13 hours and the plot value, the value of the build, is 1,006,129 Bloxburg dollars. I don't know, not the Bloxbucks, the other one, the normal currency. So yeah, it's a $1 million plot basically. Farming for this video also took a long time. So I did pizza delivery, the bog standard pizza delivery farming method. I have it leveled up to 30 now, so I have a decent amount of pay for it. I would average about $50,000 per 35 to 40 minute sessions. Yeah, that was about 13 hours and 20 minutes that took for me to get to $1 million. So I just saved about $1 million just so I could build it all in one go. So add those two numbers together, what do you get? You get 26 hours and 20 minutes. 26 hours. So obviously this video took me a long time. I said to you in that comeback video I wasn't going to be uploading immediately, every week. It's an upload schedule I want to, do in the future. Obviously I'm not going to put that pressure and stress on myself right now to do that. And I uploaded that Total Drama video and I was like, oh, I need another video next week. And I was like, no, we're not doing that anymore. We're not doing that right now. There is no pressure or stress for me to upload this week, so I'm just gonna give myself time to build this. And wow, it's great. I actually got time to spend on this video and make it a lot better. Yeah, I'm really glad for that, and I'm still working on trying not to put too much pressure on myself to upload, constantly. Even though that's something I want to do, in the future, just to have it a bit regular. This video took a long time, not even mentioning the editing, which also took a long time, which you can imagine speeding up 13 hours of footage. Anyway, let's move on now to sort of like feedback, I guess. I know like I'm only partly way through building this, but if you have like any tips for improving building in Bloxburg, I'd love to know. direct me in the way of some videos if you'd like. I didn't even learn about some of these tips in this video. I was learning as I was building, should I say. I didn't learn about like beams until 3/4 of the way through the video. Yeah, so I was just sort of like learning as I went along, which I still find fun. If there's any like well-known tips and tricks for building, let me know them, because I'd really love to get better at building in this game. That's not to say I think this build is bad. I don't think it's bad. I really love it. I'm very proud of it. I think it's really beautiful and atmospheric and immersive, and I will definitely do like a little tour walkthrough at the end of this video so you can have a look at that. I'm going to talk about this later on, but my worst part of building is like interiors. I hate it, especially normal houses, just normal bog standard basic beige houses, you know. It's just so boring. You've seen it a million times. I've seen it a million times. I don't enjoy making it. I don't think it's very creative. I mean, it's great if you enjoy that. I'm happy for you. I just don't like it at all, and I'm not very happy with my interiors either because I'm just not that passionate about it. So yeah, I think that's one thing I need to improve, just for video's sake. If I'm building a house with a really big interior, you'll see that later on though, because you'll see me building the interior for the mill. Let's talk a little bit then about what I'm actually doing, what I'm building in the game right now, because I feel like I am just like commenting some general things, but I think there is a lot to talk about what I'm actually doing, because I built that bridge and I was very proud of that bridge, using the blocks, the transform block stuff. I feel like they could add a lot of different shapes though, because I feel like there's so much more you can do with that. Yeah, I guess, well, one other thing that bothers me about this build is how flat the walls look. Maybe I'm being very overly critical of myself here, but I just think like even with the vines, they just look so flat, and I was struggling throughout this build to like, how can I make them look like a little bit more dimensional and have something going on. So I just added a ton of vines, but I came up with a kind of solution later on. If you've ever built an exterior like this, or a park, or like a nature build, let me know if you have any like solutions for making walls look less flat. Well, cliffs, I guess, because it was a struggle. We do have like the new vine garland, the autumn leaf garland item, which is amazing. It should be a permanent item. I don't think it should be seasonal, because it goes so well with the vines. And I didn't even realize I could resize the vines till about halfway through this video, so I was just placing them down. I was like, wait, I can actually resize these. Wow, I can make different shapes, and it's not all just gonna look exactly the same. It was great. So that's what I was talking about, how I was having revelations as I was building. I have a lot of Robux spare from when I was in the star program with Roblox. So when I logged back into my account, I had like 10,000 Robux just sitting there. I'm like, what am I going to do with all this? So I made 2 outfits. I bought a bunch of stuff in the marketplace and spent like half of that amount. And then it came in handy in this build when I needed some Bloxburg. Oh, that gets confusing. I needed some Bloxburg for the waterfalls and some other decorative items that you have to spend, you know, that currency on. So that was super helpful. Thank you, Roblox. Even though I'm not in the star program anymore, just to let you know, because some people had still been using my star code. So it's really important I tell you not to use my star code anymore, because it doesn't work, and you should use a star code of a creator who has theirs active and it's actually going to support them. So yeah, just to let you know, the It's Slimy star code doesn't work anymore. But thank you, Roblox, for all of that Robux you gave me from the star program, because it came in useful for this video. But yeah, a lot of this footage is just me placing a bunch of rocks everywhere, resizing them, a bunch of plants, a bunch of vines. It's just so many little details like that. Maybe I could have cut a lot of it out, but it's a lot of me just copy and pasting a bunch of the same items to add a bunch of detail to make it more immersive and more detailed, obviously. Yeah, I'm moving on to this top floor now. I just decided to plan the shape, the general shape of where I wanted the cliffs and the mill to go, because my mouse is broken. So you'll see I've kind of edited this footage a bit, kind of can't see it too well, but I have to drag my mouse really slowly because it just glitches out. So planning it on video, also it's going to take an extra like 10 minutes of footage, which you don't need to see. You just need to see me building it. But my mouse is just going all over the screen. You know, taking a break for this long, all of your equipment just wants to fail on you because it's aged and it's it's just been sat there for so long collecting dust. It just doesn't want to work for you anymore. So yeah, a new mouse is on the agenda for me. I need to get that sorted very quickly. And I was talking about Splatterween earlier as well. I haven't been able to record Nintendo videos because I've had problems with my capture card. You haven't seen me make a Nintendo video in a long time, even before I stopped making the Royal High ones. I did do some streams on like Animal Crossing way back. I maybe did Pokemon once. I think that's all the Nintendo content I did because they never did very well in terms of views, and it like demotivated me to want to make Nintendo videos, which is a silly thing to admit to now, but when you're making videos on Royal High and they're getting like 50,000 views, and then you upload an Animal Crossing video or a stream and it gets 2,000, and you're like, well, I guess I shouldn't be making these videos because nobody wants to watch it. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be making some Nintendo videos now because I sorted my capture card problem out. I basically had a situation where I have bad cable management and I have cables all over the floor under my desk, and I disconnected the capture card and whoops, it's under the chair, whoops, I sit on a chair, whoops, it's squashed. Uh-oh, I can't use my capture card anymore, and I can't make any more Nintendo videos, and I didn't have the motivation to replace the cable because like, well, nobody was watching those videos anyway, so like, what's the point? I'm just gonna ignore it. I did attempt to try and find some cable replacements and they didn't work. Then I got some advice about what exact replacement I need, and I managed to find one finally, so I can actually make some Nintendo console videos and some for the PlayStation because it's HDMI. I won't get into the technical details of it. Long story short, I can now make those videos, so I really want to make a Splatterween video this weekend. I don't know if any of you play Splatoon, but it was my obsession through 2023 and 2022. Splatoon 3, I love it. And then I went back and played all of the other Splatoons, which I'd love to make videos on like the single player for those games as well. I love it, I love it. I hope some of you like Splatoon because if you don't know, Splatoon, it's like a shooting game, but you are squids and you shoot ink at people, and basically Splatterween is a big event. It's a Splatfest if you've ever heard of those, but Halloween themed, so we are going to get at least one Halloween themed video on this channel. I also on Friday have a party for the release of 1989 TV. I'm gonna have a listening party, so I'm very busy this week. I want to talk about that a little bit. Are any of you Swifties out there? I actually recorded a video for some like Roblox Taylor Swift games. Maybe you'd be interested in that. Maybe that's just a video specifically made for me. But I think some of you are Swifties. A lot of you have to be. A lot of you have to be. She's like global. She's interplanetary, you know? Intergalactic. So it's just me playing a bunch of different Taylor Swift themed games. And maybe I can get that out this week for a nice little thing to watch in combination while you're listening to 1989 TV, which is mostly the reason I made that video this week. So yeah, I have this video that you're watching now and that Taylor Swift video just sitting in my files in my hard drive waiting to be edited, because that is, in my opinion, the worst part of making videos is editing them. I don't know what it is, because once I actually start editing videos, I enjoy it. I mean, if it's not too like samey and monotonous, I'll enjoy it. Like this speed build one where you're just speeding up footage and going through it, looking through carefully in case there's like any errors or, you know, little glitches or whatever, and you just, you have to look so closely at 13 hours of footage to make sure it's perfect and speed it up 1,000 times. It's just not fun. I enjoy editing more like creative videos and getting to like do some unusual stuff with it. But I'm gonna, move on from that now and actually talk about the interior that I wanted to talk about earlier, but we've got to the interior portion of this video. I wanted the interior of the mill house to have this layered design, so it has two different upstairs sections that you get to via ladder, and it makes it feel very open, very spacious, and I wanted it to have an antique old feel to it, like it was used, you know, 100 years ago as a mill house and someone's just living there now. And yeah, I like how it turned out. I'm not super happy with it. I just don't like my interiors, but I'll get a bit more into that later. But yeah, I just tried to add as much detail as I could. I used a lot of the twisted wood texture, a lot of wood, antique furniture. I did want this house, this mill house, to have a function, or at least look like it has a function, because I wanted the watermill outside to still be making like mill inside and also powering all of the electronics. So I tried to include that with this section I'm building now, and also with the kitchen as well, which is just underneath. You saw me build the mill outside, which took so long, by the way. I think that alone took about 2 or 3 hours. But this section here is like a milling machine. It's not accurate to anything I've looked at. I just built some kind of general machinery looking thing. I added dirt piles and coloured them in like white so they look like flour. I'm adding connectors to the appliances in the kitchen section downstairs, so it looks like that power is coming from the mill outside. So yeah, it's a mill house, and I wanted it to be themed like that, and somebody's living there, and it's very old-fashioned. It looks very old-fashioned with the beams and stuff on. I should have used the beams here, by the way. I should have used the beams on the wall instead of using shapes, but I didn't know how to use the beams. I knew they existed, I just didn't know how to get them up or what they were called, and so I ended up using the shapes. I think it took about 45 minutes to place all of those in individually and get them right with the transform tool. This is what I'm saying, where I need some like nice tips to improve my building in this game. This is my favorite section of this build. I like the middle area or upstairs because I think that's very creative for an interior, and I like the sofas covered in the material here, which is one of the new items. Those sofas stop the flour getting all over the furniture. I would add more of those if I could in places, just to add to that look of it being like dusty and old and full of flour everywhere. Yeah, I think I could even add some fog machines to the top section, so it's got like flour going about everywhere in that house. But I think my interiors could be improved a little bit, you know? I think it's all very one colour, even though it's old-fashioned. I feel like I could do a lot more with it. So yeah, if you've definitely got some tips for improvement, let me know, because I would love to know. And I'm getting on to one of the final bits of the build now, which is the cafe. And I wanted a cafe because I thought the idea of building a cafe with a mill, so the mill makes the flour, and then the bakery can use that flour to make into cakes and other, you know, desserts. So I thought that was a cute little idea. It's just a very simple square building. I used the same textures, covered it in vines, you know, and for the pictures you're going to see in the tour around the place, you're going to see me use some just like standard Roblox like cafe lists that people have uploaded to Roblox. So I just looked for them, searched them up in the images, but we are about done, I think, with the speed build. We haven't got much longer left, but yeah, I just added some extra stuff to the bakery, resized the vines, and I'll add the cakes off camera, and you'll see those in a second. Oh yeah, and I couldn't decide between if I wanted rocks or a watercolor in the back, because I saw somebody do that in a Bloxburg video, and I was like, oh, that might make the water look a lot heavier, so I changed that as well. And then I start adding rocks to the walls to, you know, like I said earlier on, make them look less flat. So if you have ideas for how to make walls look less flat, please let me know. I just added shelves and put rocks on them and deleted the shelves afterwards. But there we go, that's the speed build. Let's get into the tour. So I could just stay silent during this, but it's also 5 minutes of a tour of this place, so I'm just gonna talk over it. I hope you don't think I've talked too much in this video. I feel like I've rambled on about absolutely nothing of consequence. But, oh, this is one of the additional things I added off camera, and that was like a little signpost. I'm so proud of it. I used the beams to make the lettering, and obviously just some basic transformed shapes, and I think it looks really good. And here are those images I got from the Roblox creator section, just random uploaded images. I searched for, I don't know, what did I search for? Bakery, cafe, something like that, and they came up. I did some really nice Halloween themed cakes for the season, cake pops and spider cupcakes. There's a nice little pie in there, really cute. Let's head over back now to the middle section. Well, we're heading up towards the mill, and here is that beautiful area with the river coming down from the mill, which collects into like a little pond and lake at the bottom. Oh, I love this section so much. I think it turned out really, really beautiful, and I filmed this at night to really show the immersive atmosphere of it. I wanted it to have this kind of lighting to be at night, so you can see the glowiness of it. It does look really nice in daytime though, I think, but I did design all of the lighting to be seen at nighttime. It's just beautiful. I love this little bridge I made. I'm glad I made it custom instead of using the standard one, because then you'd have to make the river a lot smaller, and yeah, it wouldn't look as good. The little cave under the walkway above to the mill, some spiders and mushrooms in there. I wanted to add some mushrooms because of course I am Meredith Mushroom. I have a mushroom themed avatar as of right now. I think I'll keep that until autumn ends, and then I'll change the channel name, which I need to come up with a name for it. I still haven't decided. And then I walk up to the mill, the beautiful mill, and the little gardening section outside with the wheelbarrow and the carrots and the onions and the pumpkins. I just love this build. I love it. I know I was a bit critical, but that doesn't mean I'm not very proud of it. I am very proud of it, in fact. And the mill here the mill itself, the water wheel, took so long to make. And I used the water slide piece there just to make it look like the water was being more channeled onto the wheel from that waterfall there. So, and then we're gonna have a little walk around in this little hut. I changed it around a bit in here because I realized you cannot complete all of your needs with the stuff that's in the regular house. We needed hygiene stuff, so I added all of the hygiene plumbing in here, a bath and a toilet, and I made it very old-timey, and kept the plants in there. There's no reason to get rid of them. A little stove just to, you know, for hot water to heat the bath. And there we go, into the main house now, and which we've already seen in the speed build, but well, we've already seen all of this in a speed build. What am I talking about? The house. I think it can be improved a lot. It's not the best. I think it's sparse in detail. The best part, I think, is the sitting area over there with the bookshelves, and then this section up here with the wheat in the middle and the flour. Just a basic machine. I actually saw somebody make like a gas station, petrol station, and they used an item that had like electronics. I think maybe it was like the, you know, in apartments where you press the buzzer to get into somebody's house. It was like one of those on top of it, so it looks like electric and electronic, which could have been the thing I used for that machine there to make it look more realistic. But this is, I think it's just very sparse. I think I could have done a lot better with the interior. And the new hatch item, the new trapdoor item, I used there as well. I actually used quite a lot of new items, autumn themed items that got added in the October update for this game. And here we have some final clips of this place, and I'll leave you now with just a bit of silence to reflect on it. So So that is it for the speed build of the Autumn Forest Mill, Park and Bakery. Oops, I got a little bit too far to my face there. But I will have that Taylor Swift video and the Splatterween video coming to you very soon. I don't know when exactly, hopefully before the end of October, because I want them to be around the time it makes sense for them to be out. But yeah, they won't take nearly as long as making this video did. So hopefully you enjoyed. If you have improvements, tips for improvement, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. Just for general building, how I can make this build better, etc, etc, things for the future. Anyway, that is it. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. Is there an... Oh, wait, no. How do I have to stand up in a mood? Oh gosh, this is all going wrong. Goodbye.